Y'all, welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's get into Power Book 2 Go Season 2 Episode 4, Getting These Ends. Alright, y'all, so if you are brand new to my channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed today's content. Hop into the comment section, y'all, and let's talk about this. Power was a really good episode today. Really good episode. And like I foresaw, a lot of stuff has happened, but we're gonna get to that later. So let's get into it, y'all. So episode starts out with Carrie out in the middle of the woods, and she is outside of her car. Which girl, ma'am, but she's outside of her car, and she's waiting for Zeke. So she's yelling out Zeke's name, Zeke, and then she finally texts him like, "Where are you?" We see the little three dots pop up. That means that someone is typing, and then they stop. And then she gets back in her car to wait, and Zeke texts her that he's almost there. So it's like literally a second or two after that, we hear her back window get bust, and then Monet like appears in her car. Monet has a gun out on her and told her, "I told you to leave my nephew alone." And she asks Carrie, "Are you responsible for killing that professor? Did you do it?" And you're trying to pin it on Zeke. She said, "No, I didn't do it. I was with Zeke that night. We did not do it." She said, "I gave the alibi for both of us that we were together. Zeke lied to the police." And she said that she's trying to get Zeke out of trouble. Monet tells her, "Girl, you are going to fix this. And if you don't, I'm going to fix you." And it's like, damn, Carrie. See, let this be a lesson to her. Quit sleeping the fuck around all the time. Because you don't... Carrie, I hope you get it together. That's all I gotta say. So then we switch over to Tariq. He's walking into Davis's office, tells him that he knows the police officer's gun was found on the scene. So he wants to know, since the police officer's gun was found, this is not Zeke's fault. He knows that Zeke didn't do it. He tells them, blasted to the press, that the officers have another officer's gun in custody that was found on the scene, and they're choosing to cover it up and, excuse it. So Sax is there, and Sax is like, "How do you know that?" And Tariq Sax was like, "How do you know that? Why are you so concerned?" Tariq said, "Look, it's my job to keep Zeke out of trouble. If Zeke stays out of trouble, I can stay in school. I'm not going to let anything jeopardize my future and get into the bag." Because we know that Tariq has to graduate from Stansfield in order for him to get the money that Ghost left him. So when Tariq leaves, Davis is aren't you concerned about that? Because Davis is still operating from a place of being a DA. You're a defense attorney now. And that's what Davis keeps trying to get into his head. We don't care about none of that. We care about doing what our client tells us to and getting to the money. So Davis tells Sax, "Why don't you find out from the woman that you're sleeping with if that really is true? Was there really a police officer's gun found on the scene?" Carrie gets called into a meeting with Stern, Tate, and the new dean, who is covering for the old dean because too much shit went awry under his tutelage. So they're like, because of that, we have a new dean. Detective Whitlock is there, and he gets asked, "Why are you targeting Zeke? Why are you targeting our star basketball player and bringing all this negative press to the school?" Now, Rashad Tate is there, and he is like, "Well, why would that be, Carrie?" So, Rashad knows that, because he was listening, he knows that Carrie and Zeke have been messing around. Because Rashad is kind of pissy that she's not, taking up his advances towards her. So now he's like, kind of wants to flaunt it in her face. So Carrie is like, well, the motive that he would have is because Zeke is somehow involved in that whole GTG shooting, whatever, and all of that type of stuff. So that would be like the connection that's there. Carrie gets pulled off of being the liaison between the faculty, between the school and the police department. They're gonna have Councilman Tate, do that instead. So They say if there's a drug situation going around on school, let's do a sweep of the dorms. We'll find out what's going on. Whoever was found with drugs in their room, we'll bring them down to the station for questioning, and then we can link all this up together, clear this shit up. Let's get all of this out of the press with us, get our star basketball player back on court, because that's what Stansfield is doing. Let's stop all this. So, Detective Whitlock, annoying ass, is Stern tells him, and once this is done, I want you to stop the investigation that's going on around here. And Whitlock is like, I don't answer to you. Stern said, oh, everybody does, sweetheart. Everybody answers to me. Don't even worry about that. So then we see they're leaving, and Tate gets up in Carrie's face, and he's being smug. Again, just kind of pissy that she wasn't, like, all up on him like he expected. So he's like, looks like you're in trouble. I know you were messing around with Zeke. And Carrie is like, yeah, so did you know that we didn't kill him? We were together that night. However, are you really going to let an innocent black man go down for this? You can come out the hero, and that's how you win elections. So she kind of flips it and reverses it and kind of throws it back at Tate, who thinks for a moment, okay, I guess I can try to work this to my advantage. Davis approaches Monet and tells her that it's going to take $1 million. He wants $1 million to help Zeke out. And I'm like, $1 million? Damn. Davis. No wonder he rich. So Monet is looking at him like, nigga, you are crazy. But she agrees to it. She goes to look in the safe for the money, and she sees that the safe is empty. So she like low-key panics because she thinks she got robbed. So she tells Davis, look, I'll have your money. Keep working for us for Zeke. Davis tells her, you have 3 days to get me the money. So Monet goes and she approaches the contractor that was working to replace all the windows in the bar, and kind of tells him, like, where's my money? Y'all broke in my safe? And he was like, no, we didn't. No, I promise you we didn't. No. So she ends up telling him, like, so then where is my money? And he tells her that he'll get it. So she takes that to mean that he, him and his team or whoever is working with him did take her money, and she kills him. And I'm like, if the man did take your money and he knows who took the money, what is killing him gonna do? Come on, Monet. This is how you can tell that Monet just be operating off of vibes out here. No real plan to anything she's trying to get done. So she gets back home and she's asking her kids, do y'all know what happened with the money? Do y'all know anything about the money being missing? Diana is looking guilty. And I said, Dirty Diana, did you take the money? Because she looks shook. And then she like has this like look of grief that comes about her when Monet says that she killed, she shot the contractor window man. So Diana then texts Davis and asks him, can he move the money that she gave him from her dad's case to Zeke's? He tells her no, because he's working, and the stuff for her father, for Lorenzo, is already put in motion. So Tariq and Lauren show up to class holding hands, being booed up, and they have a conversation in class about you cannot be a good person. Lauren says you cannot be a good person if you're constantly justifying everything that you do. And I 1,000% agree with that. If you're a person that you go out and you're constantly doing effed up stuff, and you always have to find a way to justify what you're doing within yourself, people can't just see the innately good in you or the reason that you would have to do it, then yeah, you're an effed up person and you can't be a good person. So we see Tate's brother, the one that is his name Kamal on here? Kamal Tate is a new investigator on Jabari's murder. Detective Whitlock has an issue with that because he was like, so it's not a coincidence that your brother just ambushed me over at Stansfield and now you're on here. And he starts talking real greasy to Kamal. And Kamal said, nigga, watch who you talking to. Don't talk to me like that. And Kamar is kind of pointing out the major glaring flaws in Whitlock's investigation. Like, you really have no proof. You can't just say because they were sleeping together that that's why Jabari is dead. Like, that doesn't make sense. So he's like, I heard that y'all have a gun in police custody, like, and in police custody from a police officer's revolver was found at the scene. Like, why aren't y'all taking that into consideration? Have you talked to Ramirez? Have you done all the checks and balances that you need to do to get that taken care of? Get to it, sweetheart. Get to it. So we see Kane. Yes, calls Tariq. And it's like she wants to go home. She misses her mom, yada, yada, yada. Tariq, this falls on you. Because the way that you had Tasha get taken into protective custody, you should have taken Yaz with her. Yaz should have been with her mother. I don't know why you wouldn't take Yaz to be with her mother in protective custody. Why didn't you have Big Mama go too? That makes absolutely no sense, Tariq. But that also just goes to show how Tariq is smart, but not as smart as he thinks. Because that was just dumb to do. So Kane is in Brayden's room, tricks him into going on a run with him. Brayden is so thirsty to be down, and he wants to be this big time drug dealer for whatever reason, that he is letting Kane manipulate him, and he doesn't even see it because he sees Kane as cool, and I want to hang out with him. So that's what he's doing. So we see, as I suspected, Lauren got brought in for having drugs in her room. She says those are not her pills. She don't know where the pills came from. She don't know who's selling the pills. So Kamal Tate is really like trying to take Lauren down. Carrie comes in and it's like, this is an honor student. This girl is not out here doing drugs. This girl is not selling drugs. They probably not even her drugs. And Kamal is not for the shits. He's like, so you're trying to take up for her or help me? Carrie convinces Lauren to wear a wire of some sort, so that she doesn't mess up her life. And Lauren is like, this really isn't mine though. So light skin Keisha, this is why you don't just drop drugs and drop things that aren't you don't just drop things into other people's bags and stuff like that, because this happens. Because this happens. So Lauren agrees to like wearing a wire. That way she's cooperating with the police. She's not necessarily snitching, and she's not, this doesn't go on her record because, girl, you had drugs on you. So Tariq meets with the conservator for the estate, who is Elvin from what was that? The Cosby Show. And I don't know what was going on with him. I feel like he's working with Big Mama or he's messing with Big Mama. But Tariq was like, I can't. So you mean to tell me that Big Mama is using all of Yaz's money to go out and buy liquor? And like, it's kind of like, you cool with that? And he tells him, I want Yaz to come live with me. I can get an apartment, whatever the case. And he was just kind of like, do you really want to raise your sister, do you? And he was like, look, do I need to go to court and get a new conservator? Or are you going to help me take the steps to getting my sister, because my grandmother is currently unfit to do it? So I kind of feel like the conservator might have been getting paid by Big Mama to get some of that money early. And she's taking that money and spending it on liquor, box liquor at that, buying Franzina. I said, oh, Big Mama. Box wine is good, but it's just like, if you're getting that much money, don't go blowing on some box wine. So Kane and Brayden are out, and they pull up to some trap house, and Kane tells Brayden, stay right here. Kane goes in. Next thing you know, some man walks up to Brayden and was like, are you lost? And Brayden, I don't know why he tried this, but he was like, I know people in there, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, trying to be funny. You about to get carjacked and probably killed, and you out here naming the people from New Edition. And this is how you know Brayden is really not ready to be in this type of role, because you playing too many games. Kane comes running out. It's like some type of shootout. Now Brayden's car is all shot up. How are you going to explain that to your parents? Brayden is dumb, y'all. So Monet goes up to the jail. She asks Lorenzo to sign on the mortgage, to sign a contract so she can mortgage the house and get the money for Zeke because she needs that $1 million. Lorenzo tells her absolutely not. We were down on money to pay for my defense, so we're trying to rebuild now, and now you want me to put our house up? No. She gets mad and she's like, but you would do it for one of the kids. And he said, yeah, I know you love your nephew, but this ain't that. Just use the money that's at the bar. Monet can't tell him the money at the bar is gone because somebody stole it. So, it was in this moment, but I've always suspected that Zeke might be Monet's son. But because it's kind of like you go super, super hard for him. And I know it's because you see Zeke as a meal ticket, but it's kind of like it's a different kind of frantic right now with her. So Drew is sitting at the house and he's supposed to be babysitting Zeke, and he's mad about that, and he's texting Everett, the guy from the basketball team that he's messing around with, and has an idea to see if he can get Everett is to see if Everett can get the team to rally around Zeke and like help him out while still raising some money. So Zeke goes and not Zeke, Drew goes to Everett. They have some makeup sex. They back on one accord, and they show that the team is like putting together a GoFundMe for Zeke, and they are refusing to play until the charges and stuff are dropped. So after they have sex, Everett tells Drew, I might have sort of somewhat mentioned your name when I got questioned by the police. And it's like, damn, bro, for real? So Drew was mad about that because why would you bring my name up? The implications that can have on me, the implications that can have on my family. Like, why would you throw me under the bus? Why would you throw me under the bus um, just because you couldn't take a little bit of questioning? So then Drew gets mad, he leaves. We see Diana and Effie, and I guess they have a scheme to go out, use some fake credit cards, buy a bunch of high end clothes so they can turn around and sell them and get some money. They have this conversation about Diana wanting to kind of get away from her mom. She wants to go to school, blah, blah, blah. Effie is saying how she doesn't have a relationship really with her parents. And then it comes down to them talking about sex. Diana wants to make sure that her first time is with somebody special. Effie, who has slept and has been messing around with Tariq, or has messed around with Tariq in the past, told her just don't get messed up with Tariq. It's not worth it. So we see Zeke sitting on the porch, his dumbass, and he's answering questions from some random reporter. Drew walks up and is like, go in the house. The reporter, as they typically do, goes a step further and was like, your uncle is Lorenzo Tejada, who's in jail for being a murderer. Does it run in the family? So Drew attacks the reporter. Shit is just going amok for everybody at this point. So, Method Man Davis comes up and it's like, in order to rectify this situation, Zeke has to sit down for an interview with Jamel Hill, and then that way this reporter won't press charges, yada yada yada. And I'm thinking, Zeke, y'all gonna let Zeke do an interview? Yeah, okay. So Brayden gets a call from Kane. He was getting ready to hang out with Tariq, but decided, no, let's go ahead and let's scratch that. I need to go and kick it and do something. He said he's going to hang out with a girl to study for a test. So Brayden gets up to the jewelry store, holds up his black card as the store is closing, and tells the man, look, I need to get something for my girlfriend really quick, and shows that he has a black card. So the man sees that, knows that money is of no consequence, lets him in. So now Brayden is robbing jewelry stores. I said, Brayden is so stupid. He don't have a mask on or nothing. So yeah, they're shooting out the cameras now. Do you think that there's no other tape? Brayden is dumb, y'all. Absolutely dumb. Fingerprints and shit all over the place. Brayden is dumb. Brayden is dumb. So Tariq is helping to prepare Zeke for this interview with Jamel. Davis has a list of the questions that Jamel is going to ask. Tariq gives Zeke the answers, tells him memorize it, do not go off script. So then we get to the interview, y'all, and it's going good so far. And then Jamel goes off script, and it's like, it's funny you mentioned a gun because Zeke says that he's not a violent person, he doesn't even own a gun. You shouldn't have a gun. Ain't owning a gun illegal in New York? Nonetheless. So then she's like, it's funny you mentioned a gun because Detective Ramirez's gun, police officer, was found near the body. Do you know him? And Zeke is like, Ramirez? No, I don't know a Ramirez. And she said, okay, because the police said you gave them his PBA card. And Zeke is like, oh, that Ramirez? Okay, yeah. I know him. He's super cool. He's a big fan. He came to all the games. Jamel said, we thought you would say that, okay? We did the checking, and it does not look like, based on his schedule, that he was at any of your games. Did you hire him to kill Jabari? And I said, Lord have mercy. So then Zeke is mad. Do some bullshit. So he's going in, and he walks off set. Meanwhile, everybody is watching. So you see Monet and Diana and Kane are watching with Davis. They're actually at the studio. And they're like, Davis, do something. Davis said, this is live. There's nothing I can do. Meanwhile, you see Tariq is watching with Lauren. And Tariq is like, I gotta go. I gotta leave. Whatever. And Lauren is like kind of side-eyeing Tariq. And it's like, girl, get it together. Can't you figure out? Tariq is giving you all these clues that he is somehow connected to what is going on with Zeke. And you still want to act like you don't understand why he's always so confused. Not confused, but why he's always so anxious and ready to leave at the drop of a hat when it comes to Drew. Like, come on, Diane. Lord, I done got everybody's names wrong. Come on, Lauren. Like, anytime something comes up with Zeke, Tariq jumps up. That should tell you that there's something that's connecting those two together. So when Zeke walks off set and he comes back to the green room, they're looking at him like, bro. Jamel comes behind him, and Davis was like, those were not the questions you were approved to ask. Jamel said, I am a journalist and I don't have to answer to you. So Monet is looking around to talk to Kane. Kane has left. So Monet tells Davis, I got your $1 million coming for you. Keep working on this. Monet finds Kane. She goes down to his car and tells him, you think you slick? Meet at the spot. They go to the spot. Kane admits that he initially shot Jabari because he caught Tariq telling Jabari about their business. And he said that you need to talk to Tariq because Tariq took the kill shot. Right? So she wants Kane to go get Ramirez's body. And Kane is like, so what's going to happen to me because of that? Because they get Zeke out to clear because it'll show that Zeke did not hire Ramirez because Ramirez was dead long before that. And then she tells Kane, you made this decision. It's kind of on you. So then we see Big Mama shows up to Tariq's dorm room. Now, earlier in the episode, we see Tariq looking at some video footage of Big Mama at the liquor store buying a bunch of wine. And we see Yaz come in, and Big Mama, like, shakes her and kind of throws her to the ground. So Tariq has apparently filed that paperwork. Big Mama comes in. She's upset that Tariq is trying to take Yaz away from her. One, because Big Mama's living off of that money, but two, this is like the last piece of her daughter that she has since Tasha is now in protective custody. So she tells Tariq that Raina will be ashamed of you. Everything that has happened negatively in this family is all because of you, and I will see your ass in court. So then we see Kane calls Mecca, tells him he has to leave town. Because he has to handle something. Mecca asks him, is there anyone else that you can pin this crime on? pin whatever you have on, and that's when we figure out that Tariq. I thought he was going to pin it on Brayden, but I think he pins it on Tariq. So we see Davis texts Monet that, thank you for the money. You are quick. Monet goes right over to Dante's apartment. It's like, why did you pay for that? When am I supposed to tell my husband that another man gave me $1,000,000? And then Dante is like, well, you tell him that he did it to protect his son. When were you going to tell me that Zeke is our child? So Zeke is really Monet's son, really her oldest son, or may not even be her oldest. I don't know the age difference. I'm assuming Kane is older, but Zeke is really her son with Dante. Dante tells her that he wants to take care of her. He doesn't want her to have to be out here, scratching and surviving good timing, trying to hustle when he can take care of her. He can take care of their kids. So they start kissing, and it's like, I feel like now Monet is going to be caught in a love triangle because Lorenzo is about to get out, y'all. Remember that. So Kane and Brayden go to get Ramirez's body. And not Tariq, but they go to get Ramirez's body, and Kane puts his ID and stuff back on him to identify it, since the body is like probably very decomposed at this point. Tariq goes back to Lauren's room. She asks him, why does he keep running off? He tells her that everything is going wrong with him today, and he's dealing with whatever, and he just needs to kind of be around her to where he can just relax and get away from everything at this point. He notices her Rolex, which we know is the wire. She smartly goes and takes, not even on purpose, I don't think, but she goes and takes it off and puts it in her bathroom in the medicine cabinet, so no one will be able to, they can't hear whatever conversation she has with Tariq. Ramirez's body surfaces with his ID, so they know it's him. And then we see Kane and Brayden get back to the room, and he takes Ramirez's badge and puts it into Tariq's drawer, make sure wiping off his prints, so it looks like Tariq is the one that killed Ramirez. What a great episode. Once again, if you have made it this far through the video, thumbs up the video, hop down into the comment section, and let's talk about this episode. Catch y'all in the next one.